Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Basis International School Guangzhou and the Basis Bilingual School Guangzhou webinar. And we thank you all for joining us here today as we are going to welcome a number of our team members here to talk about their experiences here with us at Basis International School and Basis Bilingual School Guangzhou. But again, thank you everybody for joining us here this morning. And welcome to the 2026-2027 webinar for Basis International School Guangzhou and Basis Bilingual School Guangzhou. So everybody again, welcome this morning. And I want to introduce everybody who's going to be speaking to us here today. First off, I want to introduce Jason Shore. Jason, he's going to be the founding head of Basis Bilingual School Guangzhou, as he'll be talking with us about Basis Bilingual School there in Guangzhou. Teresa Shorb is our head of school at Basis International School Guangzhou as well, and she'll be joining us to talk about her experience as the head of school there. As well as have a number of our team members here with us here at Basis as well. We have Livia Diltz, our head of primary, Alex Robeson, our Humanities Chair, as well as Xavier McCreenor, our head of middle school. I was also introduce a few other people we're going to be hearing from today. They're myself, Michael Holtquist, I'm one of our international recruiters here, and Haley Ferguson, another one of our international recruiters here at Basis as well. And so what we'll be covering today is we'll be going through kind of a few different things. First off, we'll be talking about Basis International School Guangzhou, and then we'll kind of turn over and talk about Basis Bilingual School Guangzhou. We'll be talking about just some insights about what it's like to teach with us here at Basis International and Bilingual Schools, as well as some of the benefits and the visa requirements for our teachers, as well as at the end we'll follow up with a Q&A. So as people can ask questions, all that type of stuff, we can talk about those as we continue on at a presentation. And so first off here, we're talking about Basis International School Guangzhou. This is our picture of our campus here. And I want to turn over to our team here at Basis International Schools and Jason Shorb as he talks about Basis Bilingual School Guangzhou as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Shorb. I'm the head of school here at Basis International School Guangzhou. I am also a former head of school here as I came and took over the school in 2018. I was here for 3 years and then I left and then I came back. And I'll talk a little bit about the reasons why I came back a little bit later on. I've been with Basis since 2012, and what originally brought me to Basis was I love the philosophy, but ultimately what brought me over here is I was referred by someone very special to me, and I'd like to introduce her to you right now. She will be the head of school for Basis International School next year when I switch over to Basis Bilingual School here in Guangzhou. So I'd like to switch over right now and introduce to you Ms. Teresa Shore.
Hi, I'm Teresa Shore. I've been working with Basis since 2010 when Basis Curriculum Schools opened their third charter school in Arizona. I started as a founding AP World History and AP US Government teacher. And in my time at Basis Oro Valley in Arizona, I spent my time as a teacher and as well as a school administrator and wore just about every hat there was to wear during that time. Then I transitioned into some other positions in our central office. But then in 2015, Jason and I were asked to open Basis International School Shenzhen. We were the founding leadership there. And for the last 8 years, I have worked with Basis Global, that's our parent company within the Basis Curriculum Schools Network, and helping to support our school openings and our expansion within China. I really miss being in the schools. I really miss the teachers and the students in particular. So I'm really happy to be back at Basis International School Guangzhou as the head of school next year. So to start out, we wanted to highlight our outstanding results for our college admissions across Basis China schools. As you can see, we have 74% of our graduates accepted into top 30 universities and 98% are accepted into top 50 universities. Of course, this is a pride point for us, but it's incredibly important to us that our teachers are the main reason why we are able to reach these great acceptance results through their quality teaching and our fantastic students. Additionally, we're able to reach these results through our rigorous curriculum. We are unapologetically rigorous, pre-K through 12. And our high school is utilizes the AP curriculum. So through the advanced curriculum for every student in the school, we don't simply just offer AP coursework to, honors students. Every single student is required to take required AP coursework and exams. And through those fantastic results, we are setting them up for success to enter these top universities. We're pretty proud of that.
All right. Earlier, I had mentioned that I had a little time away from Basis International School Guangzhou, and now I'm coming back. And I want to talk about what my reasons were for coming back, and it all has to do with our community here. We have a fantastic international community. We've got folks on staff from all of the continents, well, except for one. We're still waiting on someone to apply from Antarctica, but we've got the rest of the world covered. And it's a really cool thing to be able to sit down with folks from the UK or South Africa or Egypt or somewhere in South America, Brazil. I mean, it's a really interesting and great experience to be able to be on such a global team. Not only that, but we've got a great local staff, very supportive. They take care of us in every regard. If you never made a move internationally before, it can be a little bit scary. You're not quite sure how things are going to work. But the local staff here does a great job kind of helping us kind of settle in and integrate into the community. So that's what brought me back, is the idea that this kind of feels like home. In fact, a lot of our teachers and staff members are founding teachers and staff. They're still here. It's a place that really is comfortable, and it's a really great experience to be part of. So if you're thinking about coming to Basis schools in China, I would highly recommend that you look into Guangzhou, not only as a school, but as a community, as a city. It really is. It's a great place to be. So Teresa just mentioned those college admissions and those results that we've gotten. Of course, we are proud of those, and we do talk about those. But let's talk a little bit about the other stuff, the stuff that gets us to those results. And I want to talk more about our students in particular. But before we talk about students, let's talk about this school in particular. This is the first boarding school in the Basic Curriculum School Network. So when we opened up in 2017, 2017, we were the first boarding school. And when I came on board in 2018, I was a little bit scared of that. Like, what does that mean to be a boarding school? The kids are never going to leave. But then after a while, I realized what a great experience and a cool environment, because the kids never leave. And there are so many things that you can do after school with the clubs and the initiatives and the programs, student-led, like the prefect system and the house system. There's so many great things about what we do, socially speaking. So aside from all the academics and the college results, there is this vibrant and thriving after-school program that's important. And the boarding school is kind of the center of that. Of course, it's not just the boarding. It's, as Teresa said, we are unapologetically academic, but we also believe in having some time to play and round out as a human too. So let's talk a little bit more about our students. As I mentioned earlier, we are split up into 4 divisions. We have our early childhood education division, which is pre-K 1, so 3 years old, through kindergarten. And then we have our primary school division. That's grades 1 through grade 5. We have our middle school division, which is grades 6 through 8. And then we have our high school division, which is grades 9 through 12. We are a selective school. There's an application process, and students, they come in, they take a test. The test looks at math and writing and English and speaking. There's a whole bunch of different things that we look at. The criteria is a little bit different. It gets a little bit more challenging to get into the school the older you get. So for our early learning, our ECE kids, it's really kind of behavioral based, making sure that they're able to come in and be a student, be scholarly, and teach them how to be students. It is not a daycare. It is a preschool. It is academic, and they're learning. They're learning reading, and they're writing even from those early ages. But on the same hand, we want them to play and be kids. So we try to design our activities and our lessons to be fun and engaging, to make sure that the kids, even though they are learning, it is academic, they're enjoying it. Because at this stage, you really want to focus on that. Make sure they enjoy the process of learning. Because as it gets more rigorous, as they move up, we want them to continue to have that joy. And we want them to continue to want to acquire knowledge. So that's kind of the focus when we get there. We'll learn a little bit more when you get into a little bit more about primary students in a little while, and middle school students. Well, in middle school, it does get a little bit more rigorous. It is very academic. We have comprehensive exams that the kids have to pass at the end of the year. And our sciences are very important because we don't just do general sciences. We split this up into three categories. We've got physics, biology, and chemistry. They take all three of those all 3 years of junior high. So it is a challenging environment for those kids in middle school. Up in high school, Teresa mentioned that we do the AP curriculum. It's all focused on that. It means college level courses at high school. And that way, when they get into their senior year, they're ready to apply to those schools and get into those great schools that Teresa just mentioned. Of course, the folks behind the magic are the teachers who make all this work. So let's talk a little bit more about our teachers on campus. And for that, I'm going to turn it back over to Teresa.
Right. Jason already mentioned earlier what a diverse group of teachers we have here at Basis International School Guangzhou. And what comes with that is just a wonderful community of teachers where we learn and thrive from each other. And, you know, when visitors come to our campus, the first thing they often say to me is how warm and inviting our campus is, how welcoming our teachers are. And, you know, that trickles down into our student community and the entire atmosphere within the school. And that's deeply rooted in the fact that our teachers care so much about our students. So we're absolutely looking for, you know, those special teachers that love to teach and that love children. What we are looking for specifically, we have two types of teachers on our campus. Subject expert teachers, which we refer to as SETs, and learning enhancement teachers that we refer to as LETs. So most of our teachers are subject expert teachers, and what that means is they are experts in their fields. A top candidate has a degree in the subject or field that they're teaching. So even our first grade math teacher has a math degree. Our fifth grade art teacher has an art degree. And it's incredibly important to us that that expertise is brought into the classroom for our students' learning and engagement. In our early childhood and our primary school, we have a co-teaching model. So in the classroom, we have two teachers, the SET teaching that subject content, and the learning enhancement teacher co-teaching with that teacher as well. This provides quality instruction as well as devotion to the learning of each of our students. When our students reach fourth and fifth grade, we can consider maybe a pre-middle school time where the students still have the co-teaching model with the LET and SET, but they have classes that appear more like a middle school where they're going class to class, 50-minute class periods and learning from those subject expert teachers. Once they reach sixth grade in the middle school, then the students are experiencing more of that traditional model of the one subject expert teacher in the classroom. And with that, I think I'll hand it over to Xavier.
Hey guys, my name is Dr. McCraner. I am the head of middle school at Basis International School Guangzhou. I've been at our school for the last 2 years. Prior to that, I was vice head of division at Basis International School Shenzhen. Today, I will cover a little bit more about our professional growth and development cycle at our school. In the Basis network, we take teachers' professional development very important, and we make sure that we tailor professional development for every teacher. So I'm very excited to talk about the first part of this, and that is our Summer Institute. If you're a new teacher, for the first 3 days of our training cycle, you will attend the Summer Institute. This is where all the new teachers across our Basis schools come together to learn more about our Basis system, as well as getting them ready for school. So during these 3 days, we cover all the foundations of teaching to get you grounded for teaching. We also cover the core principles of our Basis learning. We cover our Basis, as Jason and Teresa mentioned. We have high expectations for our teachers. We have an accelerating curriculum, and we have really advanced students. So in order to get you ready for the first week of school, we make sure we cover all of that. And then you'll learn more about our 4 teaching and learning domains. And we have 4 teaching and learning domains. Under those, we have different strands. to assist our teachers to be able to deliver high quality teaching to our students. And then the last thing we cover there is our general expectations for our teachers. After the Summer Institute, we go on to our first week of on-site training. During the on-site training, we return to our campus where you will get training for a week led by your head of division, your chair, and subject expert teachers. During this first week, we also set professional goals, SMART goals, where we every teacher set a SMART goal that you would work with throughout the year. These SMART goals are connected to the teaching and learning domains, and it helps our teachers to achieve their professional development. At BASIS, we have a culture of coaching and observations, where your chair and your professional growth lead will work with you through coaching cycle to make sure that all of our teachers reach their professional development goals. Additionally, we offer Thursday collaboration sessions. We have 1 hour Thursday collaboration dedicated to professional development and collaboration in the network. And one of those are networking with all the other teachers in your that teach the same subject as you. And then we have 2 professional development days throughout the year. Those are set up by our head of divisions and also our chairs and subject expert teachers.
Good morning from China, everyone. My name is Alex Robson, and I'm the Humanities Chair here at BASIS Guangzhou. I'm also a course advisor for Grade 1 Humanities for the BASIS Network here in China. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time here speaking about the students in primary school. So here at BASIS Guangzhou, we have quite a large primary school with over 400 students. And many of our students do come from Chinese ethnic background, but all students that attend our school also hold a foreign passport. And the language level that you come into in the BASIS Guangzhou primary is really high. As mentioned by Jason and Teresa, we have a fantastic EC division, which really helps to prepare those students with the foundations of English language to prepare them for primary school. And so students who are existing students who are coming through the BASIS system have a very strong foundation. And those new students that join primary throughout the primary division, they go through the admissions days to check prior knowledge and to see that they're ready for our curriculum. In the school, we use the NWEA MAPS assessment to track progress, and many of our students, quite a large percentage of our students, are reading above grade level. So we use that to kind of catch a gauge of where students are and where they're going through the year and their progress. And I want to go on to talk a little bit about what our classes are like. It's in lower primary, we still have that mix of learning through fun and exploration. Whereas as we get towards the back end of primary, we do start to prepare those students for the rigor of middle school and trying to develop that work ethic, which will help them thrive throughout the rest of primary, middle school, and going into high school as well. Now, our students are very passionate about learning, and we'll find if working at BASIS Guangzhou that students, they care a lot about their education, they care a lot about their work, and so do their families. They come from families which share the value of a good education, and us as teachers at BASIS Guangzhou are in a fantastic place to be able to provide that for them. Another thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is the behaviour of primary school students in our school. And the behaviour in our school is generally really very good. And I think the reason for that is a combination of the value of education that comes from the families and students. But one of the most important things is our teaching team and the support that we get from our learning enhancement teachers, that support within the classes, with our SETs, but also the fantastic support of our dean team in primary as well. The deans and the LETs act as a kind of bridge between home and school to help support with both academic or social and emotional issues, if any do arise. And in addition to that, we have our head of primary, who I'm going to hand you over to very shortly. Ms. Dilts is going to talk to you a little bit more about life in Guangzhou, and she's now.
My name is Livia Dills, and I am the head of primary school, as Alex mentioned. I have lived in China for 12 years. I'm going on my 13th year, and I joined Basis Guangzhou in 2018. I have a lot to say about Guangzhou City, a place that I have called home for so long. Guangzhou is such an amazing city because it mixes both the old China feel and modern China together. So it feels very Western and developed and modern, but then you can also go to places where you get the old China experience, learning about the culture, the art, the history of China. And so it's a really nice place to be where it's a balance. It is a food haven. It's also tons of coffee culture in Guangzhou. And so if you like food, if you like good food, I remember when I first came to China, I was very excited about eating healthy food and losing weight. And that did not happen because there are just so many delicious options in Guangzhou. And so for those who have an adventurous spirit, there's tons of places to go and experience new delicious food, but there's also some like Western restaurants from home. So there's places if you're craving a taco from home, there's a few like Mexican restaurants or Italian restaurants where you can get some good pizza. Just a great balance in the city of Guangzhou. It also has the old feel of where if you want to just explore, if you want to take time walking around, the public transportation in Guangzhou is great. And so there are subways that connect all around the city. There's also a really easy to navigate bus system. So when I first came to Guangzhou, it was fun just to go and explore a different metro station to see what is there. And if you're adventurous and you want to drive, you can get your driver's license and also drive around Guangzhou. For me, I have two sons, both who I had in Guangzhou. And so being in a family place is also very important to me. And so I love all of the kid-friendly places in the city. So many places designed with families in mind. Remember, this is a massive city with a huge population. And so family is a really important part of living in Guangzhou. There are kids everywhere. In BIGZ, there are also tons of families. So we mentioned in primary school, the community style of the teachers, and a lot of them are young families. And so people who have kids that want kids to grow up together, it's special because there's places dedicated with that in mind. And so every weekend we're going to outdoor parks, we're going to, if it's raining, we're going to these play places. You can see some of the photos there where it's really designed with kids in mind. I also love that in Chinese culture, it's really like raising your kids in a community and in a village that oftentimes I'll see my own kids know so many of the neighborhood families even more than I do, that they have friends in the neighborhood, whether they're expats or they're Chinese, that they all just kind of gather together to play on the playgrounds and to play with each other. The ayis, the grandparents who are taking care of the kids are all, they're very social and they intermix together. And so I was kind of embarrassed how quickly my young children outpaced me in their Chinese language just from being around other kids and playing together. Playing is one of those like universal things you don't need a language for. I also want to talk about the housing that the school provides. The school makes everything so comfortable with setting up for success with our housing. So when we come into China, it can be really daunting moving to a new place, and having a place to call home, having like a home base is really important for setting up your new life, setting up for your spouse and for your kids, or even just for yourself, having a place to focus. And so our school HR team does an amazing job with setting up housing for the teachers at our school. And so the communities are located conveniently close to campus. And so in the current housing, it's a walking distance, but also just a short drive from campus. The school also provides shuttles to and from school, and so that you have a way to get to school, a way to get home each day. China loves having green spaces, and they're really good about dedicating and manicuring areas to make them look, even if they're in the city, like they are quiet and out of the city. And so every day we walk around our neighborhood, we enjoy the quiet green spaces, we enjoy the playgrounds that are on the neighborhood, whether it's playing table tennis, playing in the playgrounds, going to the swimming pool, that we have those things that we can enjoy together in our off time and in our evenings. They're beautiful places to live, and the apartments are very Western and very comfortable to live in, with the spaciousness that you would want from coming home from school and just wanting a place to relax and unwind. And so that is very special and very important. So if you decide to come to Guangzhou, just know that those needs that maybe as a parent or as someone new to the international school game might be worried about, don't worry, all of those needs will be taken care of. With that, I'm going to slide it back to Mr. Short.
Hello again. I want to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk about BASIS Bilingual School Guangzhou, but before we go too far into that, I want to talk about our tentative plans for next year. Up until this point, we've been seeing pictures of our beautiful campus here in Huangpu for the international school. Now, our tentative plans for next year, this building that you're seeing pictures of won't be your experience. Long story short, we are going to knock down the international school and build a new campus. So the way it's going to look is when we move into when the bilingual school opens up next school year, we will have two schools on one campus, two schools, one family. When in 2017, when BASIS International School Guangzhou first opened up, this campus was the crown jewel of the BASIS universe. It was amazing. But advancements have happened, changes have happened, and now all of the new campuses that have opened up are just big and beautiful and modern and purpose-built. So it's time to upgrade this campus. So in May, when the BASIS Bilingual School is done, the plans will be to house two schools in the new campus for the next 2 years. So we'll have an international school, which will be ran by Teresa, and then the bilingual school, which will be ran by me, all on the same campus. Then in year 3, we will move the international school back to a brand new facility on this site, but purpose-built and modern. So that's the tentative plans for what the next couple of years look like. We will be one big happy family all under one roof, and running two schools on the same campus. That said, let's talk a little bit about bilingual school because it is also an option for you. Real fast, let's talk about the differences between bilingual school and international school. That way we can kind of clear up the air for that because they are two different types of schools, but there's a lot of similarities. The similarities, of course, is the BASIS curriculum. Everything that the BASIS International School will do, the BASIS Bilingual School will also do. The difference is, in terms of curriculum, is that the bilingual school is also responsible for teaching the Chinese national curriculum as well. So things like there's different PE standards, there's different standards for mental health classes and civics classes. Those types of things will happen in the bilingual school. Basically, it's going to be a little bit longer of a school day, not much. It's definitely manageable, but that is the difference in terms of like what's being taught. From a teacher standpoint, nothing really changes. You know, we're still looking for best practices. We're still looking for good teaching, good pedagogy. We're still looking for dynamic teachers, subject expert teachers. All of those things certainly do apply at both schools. Now, enrollment-wise, there's a couple differences as well. In the international school, all of the students here have to have foreign passports, non-Chinese passports. So it is very international. We have students who have passports from Canada, UK, United States, all over the world. So in order to be a student at an international school, you have to have an international passport, non-Chinese. The bilingual schools, though, you can it opens up and now you can have Chinese passports, Chinese national students going to those schools. So there's some subtle differences in the curriculum and there's some subtle differences in the enrollment. So now we're going to kind of take a look inside the bilingual school a little bit. And for those of you who are thinking about moving here, chances are you might end up being here long term because that happens to a lot of us. We come here, oh, I'll give it a try. I'll come out to China and just see what it's like for one contract term or so. And then you get here and you realize this is a great place to work. So I'm going to stick around. I'm going to stay. So for those of you who will be staying, if you join the international school, the pictures you're about to see are kind of also indicative of what the new bilingual or what the new international campus will look like in a few years. So first, there's going to be a lecture hall, a big modern library, black box, a nice big theater, swimming pool. If I didn't mention that already. And if you see this, the slide that's on your screen right now, you see that big tall building, the one that kind of stands out. That's a teacher housing building. That's apartments for teachers. There's studios. There's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms, depending on the need, depending on the size of your family. This campus is located downtown. There are other schools around us. And one cool thing, I went and explored the area a while back. There's an ancient port city within walking distance from the school. So if you like that culture and that history, it's all right there. You can almost see the Canton Tower from our school, from that location for the school, and it's right near the Pearl River. So you've got a lot of options. There's a river walk. There's a tram that goes up and along the river. At nighttime, you can see the skyline and the lights. It's a beautiful area. So everyone's going to experience that, whether you come to the bilingual school or the international school for the next couple of years. But if you're going to stick around for the bilingual school, that's going to be home. You're going to have that home right there in the heart of the city. And all those options, all those great food options that Livy was just talking about, they're all right there. Don't worry, those of you in international school, when you move back over here, delivery is huge here. You get all that stuff all over the place. They'll bring it to you. Anyways, back to the bilingual school. You'll notice it's got this great curvature. The architecture is well thought out. On this slide here, you'll see at the top is our the entryway. It's nice and open and welcoming as you come in. And at the bottom there is the theater. It's going to be amazing. There'll be backstage. We're putting on great performances or great shows. It is state of the art. And when I say that, I don't know how to actually convey that to you. These new campuses that we've been building these last few years are simply amazing. You walk in and you feel like this is cutting edge stuff. We are at the top of our game in terms of matching the quality and the excellence of the education that we keep talking about. We have now the facilities to match it. Also, let's talk a little bit about our canteen. I think that's the next slide. If not, we'll go ahead and move on to it. The canteen is, this is your pool and your gyms. But I want to focus on that canteen because the food in our school, it's amazing. If you ask the kids what they like most about the school, they're not going to say math class or English class or whatever. They're going to say it's the food. And our network is not just big on excellence in our education, we're also excellence in everything that we do. That's why we have these big modern buildings. And in terms of the canteen, oftentimes the people who run the canteen are five-star chefs with an amazing menu. You have options, there's Chinese options, there's Western options. It is restaurant quality food and it is delicious. So Livy had mentioned, and I had the same kind of experience where I eat a lot and it is a great place to be. If you're a foodie, you don't even have to go anywhere past our school in order to experience the beautiful culinary traditions that we have here in China. So going back to the facilities here, you'll see that top screen there. That's part of our canteen. And then you notice the big windows, lots of air, lots of light, lots of natural light. It's a wonderful place. Now, next year when we move into that school from this school, in all honesty, it'll be a little bit, it'll take us a day or two to kind of figure out how we're working together, the two schools on one campus. But I'm really looking forward to it because the bilingual campus, being one of the newest schools in the network, will be learning and operating right alongside the international campus, which is one of the oldest schools in the Basis China School Network. So it's kind of an ideal situation in terms of like starting the school. That's a lot from us. I'm going to turn it over now back to our recruiting team. They can tell us a little bit more about what experience you can look forward to here in the near future.
Well, thank you everybody for talking about your experiences there with us here at Basis in Guangzhou. And like everyone said, we do have a lot of people that have been here for a long time. We have a lot of longevity there with us here at Basis, and especially there in Guangzhou as well. And so kind of the question is really, when you join Basis here in Guangzhou, really what are you joining? What is teaching with Basis International Schools and Basis Bilingual Schools like? And really what you're joining a network. It's not just your school, but it's a whole network of schools to collaborate and work with. So within the Basis Curriculum Schools network, we do have 16 schools internationally. They're in China with international schools and bilingual schools, as well as we also have 12 independent schools here back in the United States. And so with that, you're not joining just one school. It's not just your school that you have the ability to collaborate with, the ability to work with, and just get that expertise from, but it's you have colleagues from across all these schools all working together to really and help improve their pedagogy, improve their teaching. And like Jason and Teresa said, they're in Guangzhou in particular. It's going to be interesting because you have Basis International School Guangzhou, one of our oldest schools in the network, working side by side with Basis Bilingual School Guangzhou, one of our newest. It'll be interesting to see how they work together. And as they work together, they'll be delivering what the basis curriculum is. And the basis curriculum, it's an AP infused curriculum, and it's a very high academic rigor curriculum. And it does culminate in those AP classes. And in high school, the kids do a number of APs. And like Teresa said, it's not just those honor students. It's every one of our students participates in those AP classes to really find out kind of how we're doing and are we really preparing these students for that high level of academic success they're looking for. But in order to get them there, it takes a spiralized approach. It takes building up to that AP curriculum. In middle school, it's that kind of that curriculum that leads to AP, and it's a liberal arts curriculum. So it's not just math and sciences. It's languages, it's history, it's English language arts, it's performing arts. It's all those different types of classes coming together to provide that whole student experience and really provide those really well-rounded students that don't just get into these top universities around the world, but really have the skills necessary to thrive once they get there. And leading up into middle school and high school, you have elementary. And like Teresa was talking about earlier, we have a very interesting elementary teaching model with the learning enhancement teacher and the subject expert teacher really working together and co-teaching together. It's not a lead teacher, assistant teacher role. It really is, it's two co-equal teachers really working together to create that environment that is best for their students. In ECE, it's largely play-based, and it's play-based with academics really infused into it. It's that high level of academic rigor in early years, but done in a manner that gets the kids excited about learning, gets the kids excited to really learn in context. So what they're learning really does mean something to them. And so with that, let me pass it over to my colleague, Haley Ferguson here, who will be talking about kind of some of the benefits and some of the process for becoming a teacher with us here at Basis.
Thanks so much, Michael, and thank you to the team in Guangzhou for all of the wonderful information. I'm Haley Ferguson. I directly support both of the Guangzhou campuses in our recruitment efforts, so very excited to be here. All right, we've heard wonderful things about Guangzhou, so I'll highlight the network as a whole. As you've heard, education is extremely valued in China. People get really excited when they hear that you're a teacher, and they get even more excited when they hear that you're a basis teacher. So it's really awesome to be able to teach somewhere where education is so valued and revered, and it really makes you feel like you're making a great difference because you are. As Olivia mentioned, China is really, really convenient and modern. When I was there, everything is done on your phone. So I could order noodles on my phone. I could order coffee on my phone. It would get delivered to me. I could click and order a Didi, which is China's version of Uber. And by the time I clicked it and looked up, it was already there to take me to my destination. So everything is extremely convenient and modern. But as Livia mentioned, you do get that blend of modernity, but also the historical aspects of living in China. China has such a rich culture and rich history, and it's so amazing for our teachers to get to come in from all over the world and really experience how amazing that culture is. The people are wonderful. And as everyone's mentioned, the food is my favorite part. So it's the best. And the school food too is second to none, as Jason said. Cost of living is also very affordable in China. So a lot of our teachers are part of families. They bring their families to China and are able to save a decent amount of money, even when living in large cities. And then some of our teachers come, and this is, their first experience overseas, and they're single and exploring the world, and they also are able to save a good amount as well. Our HR teams at every single campus are the brains of the operation. They are so incredible. They will pick you up from the airport when you land in China. They help you arrange your flights. They also will stock your fridge with groceries so that when you arrive to your apartment, that everything is exactly as you want it. And it just makes that transition to your new job and new country that much easier and more enjoyable. They'll help you set up your banking apps. They'll help you with your phone. They'll recommend some restaurants in town. So they are some of my favorite people in the network because they are just so passionate about what they do, and they are just so on top of it. So I've heard great things from our teachers that we've hired in the past, just singing the praises of the HR team and how smooth they made that transition. For our expat package, we provide airfare to and from China at the start of your contract and end of your contract. We also provide an annual return home allowance. So a lot of our teachers will use that to go back to their home country over summer or use that to explore. We, like I mentioned, have that great visa support. We have global healthcare, including the US, and a tuition benefit for up to 2 school-age children. So your students and your kids can experience the opportunity to learn at a basis school. And as we've mentioned a few times, the meals at school are awesome. We do a 10% retirement lump sum, a completion bonus, and then there's other bonuses associated with your contract as well. And then you heard about that wonderful free and totally furnished housing that is available as well. There's a couple of things that we look for as the recruitment team for BASIS. As Teresa mentioned, we look for subject experts. We want somebody that has extensively studied the subject that they're teaching. So if you're a physics teacher, you should have a physics degree. If you're teaching primary, you should have that specific degree or a primary degree. So we really look for people that are experts in their subject and are very passionate about teaching. We love when people are excited about what they teach. The kids can feel it. The whole school can feel it when you are passionate about what you do and what what your area of expertise is. So it's really incredible, the people that we get to hire, and we get to see them work together. And then we also look for people willing to collaborate. We collaborate not only in our own schools, but cross-curricularly and network-wide. So that ability to collaborate is incredibly important to us. And there are some current visa restrictions, and those can be discussed on a one-on-one basis with a member of the recruitment team. Or just some things to keep in mind when working for BASIS International Schools. Our students are second language learners. So we say that every single teacher is an ELL teacher at BASIS, no matter if you're teaching third grade math or AP language. We really focus on helping our students acquire the English language and help give them the tools necessary for that. And then we also want you to make sure that your accompanying students are prepared for the rigorous education that BASIS provides. We understand that this is a big move and a big decision for your family. So we want to make sure that this is the best move possible for every single member. So we just ask that you make sure that your kids will be ready for that experience. With that being said, I'll share a little bit more about our marketing, and then I'll pass it back over to Mike for some Q&A. We have a fabulous marketing team that provides blog posts, videos, webinars such as this one, and social media as well that highlights some of the great things happening at each campus at BASIS. So check us out. We have our career site, we have our blogs, and then we also have what we call our talent community. And the talent community is a way for you to stay in the know about opportunities at BASIS. So if you're interested in teaching math in Guangzhou, you can go in and specify, hey, I'm interested in these positions and these locations, and it will send you an alert and an email when those positions are posted, so you can be the first to know and the first to apply to these awesome opportunities. And with that, I will go ahead and pass it back to Michael for a Q&A, and I really appreciate y'all being here. Thank you.
Haley, thank you very much. And so I'll invite everybody back on, but during the webinar, we did have a couple questions that came up that we'd like to kind of ask so we can get everybody's ideas about it. And so I guess one of the first questions is, a lot has been talked about the people there in Guangzhou and how the people really do make the school. What is some of the ways that there in Guangzhou that we've really supported that kind of community building there in Guangzhou, and how has that been going so far?
Right, yeah, great question. So in terms of like how the community is built and how they take care of us, every month we have a dinner, kind of a buffet dinner where everyone comes in, and it's nothing overly fancy, but the canteen staff really goes all out and has this, I mean, basically all you can eat Western and Chinese food. And it's just a time for the community to kind of sit down, let your hair down, and talk with each other about whatever. Kids can go play on the playground, and teachers can have a little bit of time to kind of relax and enjoy some time together. We got festivals and performances and celebrations throughout the year. Our Halloween celebration, our huge Chinese New Year talent show celebration. There are little things like birthdays. Everyone knows, the happy birthdays that are always coming around. People who are baking food and making food and making it available to the rest of the community to try out. It's really kind of an organic thing. Some of it is school driven, but a lot of it is driven by the community within the teachers and within the staff. There's so many examples of how the community is kind of built. You guys have any ideas on what you'd like to throw in there? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Livia here. She can give you a little bit.
I think going off of what Jason was saying, there are so many families or people who, even if they're not family, singles who come to Guangzhou that have been here for a long time. And so we make our roots, like roots within the community. So for example, going on right now was someone just started saying, hey, we would love to take our kids trick-or-treating for fun. Does anyone want to go? I looked last night, there were 21 families that had signed up in the neighborhood that they want to bring their kids around. And so having that time, someone will post on a Saturday morning, hey, I'm taking my kids to the pool today. Does anyone want to join? And a bunch of families will join in. But then we also have like the talents among the teachers. So last year we had a bake-off. There were a few teachers that were really into the Great British Baking Show and that liked to bake. And so we're like, okay, let's choose a day and we're all just going to bring in pies and let's see who has the best pie. So I think those kinds of things, they happen, like Jason said, organically, but then also sometimes it's, parents wanting to create those like memories with their young kids, Easter egg hunts, things like that, where we just say, let's choose a day and let's all do it together. And it's very easy to get people to chip in. Even if they don't normally celebrate Halloween or celebrate Easter, they want their kids to have those fun experiences, so they join in.
Hope that answered your question. What other questions?
It did. Thank you very much. I think we just got kind of one other question was about kind of with the bilingual school and the international school sharing a campus. How do you envision that kind of going with those two schools sharing the same campus?
Yeah, a lot of planning and a lot of coordination. So I guess long story short, the new bilingual campus has a capacity for about 1,900 kids. The international school here, obviously, the more senior program, it's established. We've got a fully built out student population of just under 1,200. So that this population, this school gets first dibs. They get to move over there and make sure that they fit. And then we will bring in about 600 or so kids for the bilingual school to kind of fit around. Right now, there's a couple different plans how that's going to work. We can split it up by floors. We can split it up by rooms. Still working through some of that. There will be some shared spaces, but not at the same time, gyms and theater and those types of things. But ultimately, what I'm really excited about is the opportunity for, as I said earlier, the bilingual school to kind of learn from the international school on how things work, and then actually both schools to learn together how to work within that building. It's a great opportunity for collaboration and a great opportunity to kind of figure out how you can do such a unique model. In terms of the teaching will be the same. It's just a different environment. So the teachers who are moving from the international school into those new facilities are just going to do what they've always done. And bilingual teachers, if you're coming new to the program, after you've gone through all the training, the Summer Institute, the on-site training that Dr. X was talking about earlier, you'll have a good idea of what the expectations are, and then you have the opportunity to see it in action from the international school. That's a little bit more senior and well developed. So you get to hear it, get trained on it, and then see it in action as you're kind of going through the process yourself.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I think that was all the questions that we had today. And so I want to thank everybody for your time and hope everyone else has a wonderful day. But again, please follow us on our website. All the positions will be listed there. Again, you can sign up for alerts, but we look forward to welcoming everybody here to BASIS International School Guangzhou and BASIS Bilingual School Guangzhou. And I wish everybody else has a wonderful rest of your day.